To welcome everybody to the Africa session of the ERIC 24-hour symposium, which is, in honor of the life and work of our great colleague, Eric Grimm. So I'm going to be giving just a quick introduction to our session and talk a little bit about our motivation and our inspiration for the way that we organized it. And then Will is going to follow up with some quick organizational notes and logistics for the session to let everybody know how the session is going to run. So first of all, I want to, thank all of you for joining us for this really special and really unique event. Most of the session is going to be sort of a series of really great talks about sort of a combination of Eric's impact in African paleoecology, as well as some research talks that are meant to be a tribute to Eric himself. And then we're going to follow up after the third hour, so after 3 hours of talks, with an open meeting, a short open meeting about ongoing activities within the African Pollen Database and some updates. So like I said, I'll talk a little bit about our motivation for the session. So our motivation in organizing this session might be a little bit different than some of the other regions, because Eric's impact and legacy in African paleoecology is mostly through his involvement with the African Pollen Database, and his dedication to open data, which, I think you'll see from the talks that are going to be given today, was ongoing, but it also, has been ongoing for decades now. And so, Eric had been actively working with a lot of us who are present here over the last couple of years to move forward for relaunching the African Pollen Database. And in fact, for me, one of my last memories of Eric was actually the last year that I had out in public with a colleague was in Amsterdam, when he was running a workshop to try to train a group of data stewards for the African Pollen Database. And so the inspiration for this session really focuses around his involvement with the APD, which, as I said, is a legacy that has really deep roots, but it also was ongoing. So he had a lot of long-term colleagues in the community, some of whom are going to be giving talks today during the session, but he also continued to inspire and teach a new generation as well, who are also represented in the talks that are going to be given today. And so that's the premise for this session. We want to highlight Eric as, an old friend to many of us here, but also to highlight those new threads to those that only recently met him, maybe only once for the first time, and the work that's now emerging from all of those connections in the form of a special issue, which, Eric's involvement was really integral towards, that was kind of surrounding the APD. So that's all for my introduction. And so I will then turn it over to Will, who is going to give some organizational notes.
Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. I'm just gonna, if I can, share my screen. Well, press the right button. Yes. Here. Okay, so the hopefully you can see that. That's a picture from the Amsterdam meeting, and in terms of general things that we need to know, has been mentioned in other sessions, but for those of you just joining us in the Africa session, if you have photos that you are collated, they're being collated for Eric, about Eric, if you have photos that you want to add into that, please send them to the email address there. There is also a AMQA Memorial Fund for donations to inspire and help the next generation of quaternary scientists working on this sort of stuff. And as you know, as you can hear, this session is being recorded, and those will all be online, and there's a YouTube channel associated with those. There is also a live Twitter tweeting on hashtag Eric24. So if you wish to add things, add comments, add stuff into that, then please feel free to tweet away as well to maybe pick up some more people to watch the talks. There was a request to, if you're not speaking and stuff, to keep the bandwidth down, to have your audio and your video off if you're not the speaker, just to facilitate people's internet connections. That can also be useful, so please bear that in mind. people so far have been pretty great sticking to time in the Europe session. I will give people a 2-minute, or Sarah and I will give people a 2-minute audio warning when you're getting to the end of your section, just to make sure we try and stick to that. So we will do that. I'm not sure if we'll have time for questions. If we have time for questions, or if people have burning questions as we're going through, please either put them in the chat or raise your hand in the Zoom fashion if we have a moment to do that. The data stewards meeting at the end, which Sarah mentioned, will be available to anybody who wants to either find out about becoming a data steward or being a data steward. And we hope that sort of a very ERIC type event will emerge from that in terms of sharing ideas and training people. So without further ado, I am going to invite the first speaker. I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to try stop sharing that. Now I can't see anything else. You can see me. And so I'm going to ask Anne-Marie Lezine to give it.
I am here, but I try to share my screen. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, at the bottom of your Zoom thing, there should be a green thing which says share.
Yeah.
If you
okay, perfect. Yeah. But where is it? I don't know. Putain, il est où mon truc? C'est Eric. Okay, partager. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep, that works beautifully.
Okay. Démarrer la première diapo.
Perfect.
You can see?
I can see and I can hear you. So.
Okay, perfect.